Yeah, no idea what happened there. No idea what happened, but I'm here. I'm just going to now check the audio. Hello, hello. What is hold tight, man? I don't know what the hell is going on. There we go. Let's see. There we go. We're in. We are in. I don't know. God fucking damn, bro. Shit, I got a crazy ass dog, so I do apologize. Mm. Du- 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 du. Do 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 do. Right, I'm just sharing this shit across the board now before my fucking uh da, 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 da. Before my fucking throat falls apart. Don't know why I'm starting to feel oh shit. How are we all? Evening. Good evening. I'm just doing this. Hello, mate. You're right. So since I fucking spoke to me mum earlier, she told me my sister's got tonsillitis. I'm starting to feel a bit throaty, but I think it's all like a I think it's a mental thing. I'm not gonna lie. I think it's a mental thing. It's just that's what I'm saying. It's probably that fucking gopping fucking I'm joking. The reason I was late to this, everybody, is because Megan made some good food. It was actually good. It was you fucking pigeons behind my back. Lena's Barry. She got a deeper voice than Barry. Yes, it was nice. I liked. I li- I might have to get someone to like. Honestly. Oh shit. You know what? Meg, where's mine? I didn't know. Honestly, right? It was some weird liquid shit. It was good though. It was good. It was good. It was just ramen. Yeah, that's what it was called. It was called Ramon. Pork belly Ramon. Anyway, how are we all, peeps? Whoever's here, how are we all? How has our week been? What did we think of the latest video? Let me know what you thought. And make sure you're tuned in this Saturday because we're going to be well, I'm going to be doing the first solo investigation of the channel. So what I'm going to try and do is bi-weekly get like solo investigations uploaded. So basically once trying to upload once a week, but the cool thing is there will be investigations where it's just me and a camera. So should be a little bit more spooky, a little bit more scary, and some different random locations. So keep your yeah, buddy. You just got to keep your eyes peeled. Make sure you're subscribed, notifications on, and keep those eyes peeled for those new types of videos because they're gonna be sick. But yeah, let me know what you thought of the latest video. If you've got any questions, the angel was it was a hard one, man. I'm not gonna lie, it was a hard place to investigate. Not because there was anything wrong, it was just a very weird evening. Like it it was probably the first time we found it, for lack of a better term, hard to communicate. Like you could feel something was there, but you couldn't get it going, if that makes any sense at all. It was like you could feel that there was some sort of something there. And I'm just seeing some crazy shit on Facebook. And we also have our next investigation booked for Friday. So yeah, stay tuned for that. How's Hannah, Jordan? She all right, mate? Where the fuck? We need all the man them in here, man. You know, but she's at work. Oh, very nice. I Yeah, it'd be cool to get you both along. Definitely be cool to get you both along to especially like the Angelus. It'll be interesting because it's like comfortable for you, isn't it? So and you know like what goes on there. So actually, it might be quite insightful to us with like any of the responses or information we get. It might be quite insightful because you know like a bit about the building and so on. So that'll actually be quite handy. Um, yeah, we'll definitely do it. 100%. 100%. Because I think a lot of the time as well is like we go to locations and we can only do like so much research, right? So you get like all this research done, and then you don't like a lot of it. You sort of, I guess you can misinterpret things or not understand it because it's a pivotal bit of information, but you wouldn't usually say. If that makes any sense. Like the perfect example is like the other night we got some information about motherhood and a baby. And then we found out later on in the evening, like once we were done recording, that someone who was pregnant actually passed away in the building. And it's like, if you don't know the information, you can't really put it together live on location. So that's the handy part about having people who like, yeah, yeah, no doubt. I mean, obviously I'm not gonna be doing the whole place, but like I I don't know, because like every like now if you take and she was buried in a this is what I mean, we didn't know any of this, and we were getting told about the small door, the cupboard, like, this is the thing, we were getting all that information, like, if we would have known that at the time, the investigation could have gone a completely different way, you know, are we talking to the victim, the culprit, like, what's going on? Um, so these are the sorts of things where it becomes really helpful when we're, you know, on location doing these videos. Um, but yeah, it'll also be interesting, like doing Robbie's Day Social. Yeah, that's cool. It'll be interesting to see how they react to one person, like Lena said, because all the ghost stories you hear, like all of like the videos you see, whether you believe them or not, anyone who tells you something, they're usually on their own, you know, which people will use it as a stick to beat the story with, i.e., oh well, no one was there to verify it, blah blah blah. But at the same time, like from what we've done is I believe the less people, the more open they are to maybe communicating. We definitely found that the other day anyway, for sure. It was like night and day. It was literally night and day between when there was loads of us and when there wasn't loads of us, you know? So it was really handy. So yeah, we've got a few cool things coming up, that's for sure. And I would also say that like a cool thing is the latest video we've had like so much traction on, like so many people have like commented on like social media and stuff. So it's interesting. It's super interesting. And what's people's opinions or thoughts on the old tarot that we do like tarot, like at the start of the investigation? What's people's thoughts on that? Because I think it's quite insightful sometimes, you know, it's insightful in the sense of like, a lot of it makes sense. Like, when we're doing the tarot readings at the start of the investigation, you're finding out that, like, with regards to what you're pulling is actually lining up. I don't know if it's like pre-interpretation, like we're then interpreting everything to go along with the tarot cards. I don't believe so. Um, but there's a few changes coming to the way the videos are going to go, the format the videos are going to go. Just to make the experience better for us and you guys, I guess. Um, Working around things like the Spirit Talker apps and that sort of working around those, maybe doing like half the investigation like the original walkthrough, um, without it, and see then what we pick up without it, and then maybe start to use it. There's loads of different. I think yeah, something different for sure. Well, I'm not a believer at all, but I'm going to. Is that tarot or ghosts in general? I had a weird experience with a tarot reader where I feel like what they said with the cards lined up like perfectly. Yeah, we definitely need to learn more about it. Like, instead of treating it like a gimmick, right? Okay, cool, tarot. Instead of treating it like, for lack of a better term, a gimmick, we do need to do a bit more research, I would say. Um, but I mean, the fact of the matter is, like, when I don't know about the other guys, but when I try and pull like a card from the deck, I do try and get like a mental feeling with the card I'm pulling. Like, it's really weird. You just like, when you wave your hands across, you just sort of try and feel a pull to a select card. Um, and I mean, so far so good. It's been decent. But like I say, we still need to definite. Sorry, mate. Child won't go to bed. It's all right, mate. How is she, the little beaut? It's definitely different. It's definitely different. You know. Um, so the more we do it, the more we're going to learn, and the more experience we're going to get. And it's the same with like the ghost hunting as well. Same with crystals or pendulums. You're supposed to let them choose you. So the opposite to Pokemon, then, right? So that's another thing we could lean into as well, because Lena's got like pendulums and crystals and stuff. What would people feel about like, because this is a hard one, like what a legend. Um, so things like, I don't know, pendulums or dowsing rods, because I suppose the same with Ouija boards, which we wouldn't do, but like anything that you have some sort of connection in doing can be, I guess, manipulated by the user. So that's one of the biggest complaints about like dowsing rods is like, obviously you hold them like this, and there you go. I do have a set, but it's like it's really. I do need a new pension. I feel like mine's negative energy attached to it, and I just don't ever feel pulled to use it. Nah, I wouldn't touch a Ouija board either. So this is the thing, like rods, they are easy to manipulate, but like it's like anything. It's like, how do you know? I suppose only the user knows, which is the biggest frustration about all of this. Like, we make videos, we go to location, we do all of this, and it's like only we know what's real. Only only us in our minds can say 100% factually that nothing was tampered with, nothing was changed. And it's the same with like the dowsing rods, isn't it? Like, only the user. Gee, that's why a pendulum was so easy to prove when I did it for specific people. Yeah, it's like you might even subconsciously, so without even knowing, you could move the pendulum around, etc. Which, well, this is what I'm saying. They'd ask questions about the deceased members that I could never know. Yeah, it's really hard because with a pension though, it's 50-50, isn't it? So it's like I haven't got around to watching your videos yet, as I've literally just seen your page. But if you're looking for other venues, Shore House Newbury was very interesting. Yo, Kyle, how you doing, bro? Shore House in Newbury. I know the name of that. Shore House Newbury. Thank you, Kyle. Why do I know the name of that? We used to live in Newbury. Newbury's cool. How? Why do I? I think my partner's done a wedding there. I'm not sure. Certain things are so easy for people to try use to disprove someone or try to take the piss. Right. Certain things are so easy for people to try use to disprove someone to try and take the piss. Well, this is the thing as well. It's like I say, unless you're the person doing it, check out the videos, Carl, for sure. They're really good. No joke. Subscribe too. Yay. Nah, I appreciate you being here. I hope you're well. I hope you had a good week so far. Um, this is the thing with anything that we do on this channel, people are gonna try and say, like, oh, this is wrong, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, the whole this new term that people are using, lived experience, right? That's all it is a lived experience. So what can you do? Shore House. Has anybody got any links to Shore House that they could hook us up? This is the thing, isn't it, Tay? Like people are gonna always try and disprove or say it's fake. 5 weddings at Shore House. I knew the name, I just didn't know where from. I knew the name. Um, hmm. Kyle, have you done investigations? Let me know if you've done any investigations there, Kyle. That'd be interesting. Well, Lena, you need to get on the links. How big is it? Is it a big place? This is the cool thing about having a wedding photographer as a fiance partner. They have got links to big old buildings, I guess. I don't know why we haven't leaned into it yet. Suppose she's embarrassed. She's embarrassed. She's so embarrassed about being a ghosty buster. We love ghosties. We love ghosties, ghosties, ghosties. To be fair, the place we're doing on Friday is pretty big. It's pretty big. It's a pretty big gaff. I can't lie. It's gonna be cool though. It's gonna be cool. I'll send you a pic. Yeah, send me a sneaky cheeky one. Oh, are you? Well, you need to get these sneaky links in. Make sure to like the video, guys. Make sure to like the live. Let's bust it out. Um, Interesting. We should maybe try and look at getting there then. What do you reckon? Do you think we should? I mean, when you've been there, have you ever felt like it's a bit booky or anything? Arsenal going to win the league, bruv. Just leave it on in the background, bruv. Love ya. Yeah, I'll speak to you tomorrow. Come down a little bit earlier so we can have a pint or so. I'll mute that bit for Lena. I'll mute that bit for Lena though, so she can't see it. Arsenal definitely going to win the league. It's annoying. Hate life in that sense, but hey, I'm not letting football ruin my day. Put you on the TV. Wait, what about Arsenal? Are they not going to be on the TV? Who are they playing? Are they not playing Bayer Leverkusen? Bayer Leverkusen. I think it's Bayer Leverkusen, isn't it? I love my team too. It's just not your team. It's actually a bit of a shame, really. It's a shame that we don't support the same football team. That'd be kind of cool. Um, but here we are. Um, God damn, my throat's so dry tonight, people. If you're new to the channel or new to the chat, say hey. Let me know you're here. Be part of the man, then be part of the gang. Also, if you want to be part of the Discord chat we have, let me know and I can drop a link. It's not super active in there, but the more people we get in there, the more active it'll be, and the more we can all talk to each other, which would be cool. Yo, Sean, how you doing, bro? Welcome in. What's poppin', bro? Welcome to the stream. I don't know if you're new to the channel or if you've seen any of our videos. Um, if you have, I'd like to know love to know what you think. Um, and if you've had any like, I don't really feel, kind of mate. Well, Amesbury way. I don't really feel anything icky there, but I'm also not being there with those intentions or mindsets. Champions League night, yeah, sure. So we're from near Andover. We did a video in Andover. It was released on Saturday. Yeah, Saturday. So we've done a load of local locations. So some of them you might know. Oh, really? That's cool. That's cool. Whereabouts in Andover? If you've got any venues that you'd recommend, that would be cool for like a private investigation as opposed to like public. Would be handy. But yeah, no, we've done a few like local locations. How does how do you feel like being a medium? Like, what are your experiences like? That's crazy. I went on a ghost hunt event to Shore House a couple of weeks ago, and there was a lot of activity down in the basement in the King Charles room. Interesting. Okay, cool. I'm gonna try and look into that. Do you not find it funny how like with this sort of little niche specifically with like the paranormal, mediums, tarot, all this, like it's not taboo as such, but you don't realize how many people are into it until you like enter the community as such. Does that make any sense? Like, I feel like since doing this publicly, it's like crazy how many people are interested in it. It's nuts. I don't know if anyone else has found that. It's your house. So was it an event? Was it like a group event, Kyle? Sean, hit me up on Instagram, bro, because maybe we could do something cool. Haven't done many too local. Don't know if you're around Southampton. Being a medium is general good, but had a couple of heavy ghosts. It's all fun though. I feel like you've definitely got to have fun. I feel like you've definitely got to have fun doing it and go in there with the right intentions. Um, and not even just like your right intentions for the investigation, but your mindset has to be right. Like, I feel like if you're going in there like super serious or super down, it's really going to affect how you feel when you're in there, as opposed to like going in quite happy. Like a lot of people get stressed out because they're like, you know, you're too jokey, da da da. Paris. I've seen them. I've seen them online. Yeah, I've seen them online. Um, a lot of people feel like we can be maybe too jokey or go in there a bit too much too upbeat. We even got called like we were an old E4. Um, what was it? An old E4 like TV show, like a not a drama, but like a no way, Kyle. That's crazy. Isn't it funny the amount of like-minded people that you meet on the internet? Oh, what did we get called? Oh, that's gonna wind me up now. Someone in the chat will say, because I know a few people seen it. Lena or Megan, I know you definitely seen it. Um, Reality show. There you go, reality show. Apparently, we act too much like we're in a reality show at the start. But to me, I'm like, dude, you got to go in there, like, be positive, have good energy, be fun, be happy, and I think that's what you're gonna bring towards yourself, right? Don't get me wrong, like Sean and Kyle, you might actually be able to help with this because I've not spoken to anyone about this. Do you feel like different spirits, different locations, you need different energy for? So here's my thought. Some locations you go in and you're like, this specific location, you might need to go in and be quite commanding when you're doing the hunt or the investigation. Other locations, you might need to go in and be quite not aggressive, but sort of take the mick, take the piss out of them a little bit. Then others, you've got to go in and be really calm, really nice. And others, you've got to go in and joke and be sad or whatever. Like, is that your sort of experience with it as well? I definitely need to learn more about tarot. So if anyone's up for teaching me or just giving me a few lines, that'd be handy. Olivia, where is she? She's in here. Hi, Olivia. Is she actually? Oh, Shore House is big. Okay, interesting. Oh, hello, Olivia. Yeah, Shore House is pretty big, man. I'd like to go there. Has anyone heard of where are we on Friday? I don't know, can't remember. But yeah, so I got kind of attacked in Shepton Mallet prison. I'd be very stern and strong there. Generally it's fine though, but definitely I find it even room by room you may need to change your approach. 100% Kyle. We found that like last Saturday, I was explaining earlier, it's probably like the hardest investigation we've done trying to get anything to happen. But we did find room by room it was different, and also we found with the different amount of people it was different as well, which was super interesting because it's not something like we've come across before. Um, the thing with Shepton Mallet, see, it's really hard when you're trying to make YouTube videos. It's super hard because obviously we want to try and get rid of as much noise pollution as possible and anything that could be someone else. So doing like public ghost hunts is different to a private investigation. Problem with Shepton Mallet is they want like 2 grand. I'm like, bro, this hobby is expensive enough, you know. How long has Kyle and Sean and everybody in chat? How long have you been interested in like the paranormal? Was there like one thing that sort of stemmed it, and you were like, whoa, or was it like just something you grew into? So, bit of background with me and say my team, which is it started with me and my fiance. We would just, funnily enough, we actually probably started off watching, in my opinion, I don't like to say it, the biggest, I want to say fakers out there. Don't know if I'd call them fakers. Maybe Sam and Colby. Anyway, we started off by watching their Conjuring week. Obviously, it all turned out to be a load of bullshit because of the Cody and Satori thing. Um, but that's what got us into it. And then from there, we started stemming to like other channels, more like real channels and other things like that. And then, yeah, we just got obsessed. And then we were like, we want to do this. And like, I suppose everything is too big and I didn't enjoy it much. I do have photographic evidence of my face changing though. I'm more about trying small hunts now. Your face changing? In what sense? Like, you talking like possession, attachment? What? I'll be interested to see that. Ping it through if you can. Like, we're on Instagram or whatnot, Instagram, Facebook. Check it out. I'd love to see that. Um, yeah, Shepton, you'd need like a weekend if you were doing it as a small team. I feel like you'd need like at least a weekend. But yeah, definitely make sure you subscribe and check out our videos. I promise they don't disappoint. I'm pretty sure. I put a lot of work into them, so I hope they don't. People matter too. Sometimes if you bring someone who isn't as open to it, the energy might not be there for the spirits to use. I was about 8 when I would have shit my pants. Oh my god. People, that's interesting. That's interesting. Yeah, so I took a photo of my face in a mirror and it changed. Freaked my friends out. Even appeared to have facial hair, but I was clean shaven. I'll look you up on Insta. Do that, Sean. I need to see this. Maybe someone I think it goes. I've never watched Ghost Adventures. I'm not gonna lie. I've heard too many stories about it being fake. Now, most haunted. Kyle, please tell me you understand that they're the biggest bullshitters on the planet, right? Come on, come on. Derek getting possessed every other episode was crazy. Oh, what's the difference between a trance medium or overshadowed? Oh, is trance where you have to like sit at the table, close, not trying to jest about it? Oh, okay. Like, is that where you sit at the table, close your eyes, and then like go into a trance? Only one of which is Barry and how much? I've not seen it. Barry, I haven't. How My House is Haunted, I've seen a little bit of, yeah. I've seen a little bit of. There's a few British channels now that are coming up, other than us. No, I'm joking. That are coming up and getting quite big and getting some really cool um evidence. Moxley is really cool. Um, I think it's called like Moxley's Paranormal World, I believe. I'd definitely check that out as a recommendation to anyone. It's really cool. Um, he goes on his own quite a lot as well to like abandoned locations. It's a bit like edgy of seat sort of stuff. I'll say that. So that's really cool. Explore a lot. She's kind of cool. She's fun. The interesting thing about the difference between like the British and the American channels is, I think as Brits we're a lot less hyper. We're a lot less emotive. So there's a lot less jumping about and that like all that, maybe I suppose not overhyping, but just in general. Excuse me, I'm indigestion so bad. Just in general, Americans are quite overactive in a lot of things, so that might be where it is. I'm not really. Guys, that sounds fucking nuts. Not in like a "you're crazy" kind of thing, like, fuck that. Like, I think I'd be scared. Rescue stuff? What's rescue stuff? I'm interested. See, I don't feel like I ever had like a paranormal. I feel like I've seen some stuff with my parents, but I don't feel like I've ever personally had like a major paranormal experience. Oh, what are rescues? That sounds interesting. Maybe we'll have to bring like one of you along on an investigation with us one time. When it's a bit warmer, I want to get like a lot of like outdoor locations done, like Pendle Hill, Savanac Forest, all these places. So someone's spirit don't seem to pass over properly, so we can help them. I didn't believe in it. Dude, right. So here's my experience. I had like I kind of believe it. No, I definitely believe it. I did like an online, like a tarot reading slash medium session with a woman from America, right? Now, going in, this was before I did it, this channel. It's actually part of the reason I started the channel. Going into it, I was like, I didn't believe it. I'm going to be honest with you. I was like, nah, like skeptical, not happening. This ain't real. But some of the stuff, it's actually live on YouTube somewhere. But my nan had passed away like a year before. And from what she said, apparently that night we helped her pass over. Now, the stuff she said to me was unbelievably accurate. Like, I had freaking tears in my eyes, man. So I suppose that's one sort of experience I had before the channel, I guess. But it was cool. But no, I'd be well open if anyone was like open to it, like maybe having like a medium come on an investigation with us one time, just to see if we're not doing it correctly, but taking the right, I suppose, like interpretations and doing the right, like getting the right understanding from the information we're getting. Because a lot of it isn't voices, a lot of it isn't full conversations. So you're taking small bits from the interactions and the um, conversations that you get, and really using a lot of interpretation on our part to sort of guide what's going on, which is it can be quite hard and quite draining, to be fair, especially when you're there for like, sometimes we're there for like 6, 7, 8 hours. We'll get there at like 10 p.m. and I'll be leaving till like 5, and you're like, whoa, what the fuck? And you do feel physically like drained, man, for sure. So a rescue is when you help people pass. Interesting. I've never heard that term before. Never heard that term before. That's very interesting. And how often is this something that you do, Sean? Like, is this something that you do like quite often, or is it quite like a rare occasion? Excuse me. God damn, my throat is so dry. Ooh. Yeah, there's a gap between mediums and investigation teams, unfortunately, and even mediumship is different when you're doing readings to when you go on ghost hunts, still in the process of working it. Yeah, I mean, I see a lot of like, I suppose, like the mediums. It's unfortunate because I think go through phases, mate. I haven't had one for a while, but life has gotten in the way a bit. Like, yeah, I feel you. I feel you, man. Like, life gets in the way a lot for sure, especially these days. I feel like I've seen a lot of like investigators go with like people who call themselves mediums. I think it's such a shame though, like, with like the paranormal mediums, tarot, everything. As many real people doing it as there is, there is a lot of fakers out there, and it's a shame, really. But I feel like I watch like these videos on these channels where they're taking these mediums with them and they're walking around and they're saying, "This person's here, I can see them," and then all of their kits going off, and it's like, wow, this makes so much sense. But I guess the more I do it, the harder I'm finding it to believe in like all of these overhyped and overacting channels. Um, I don't know if anybody else feels like if you've been involved in it or you start doing it, or especially like Kyle and Sean here who like actually have medium experience where they're watching these channels and they're like, nah, like probably fucking see it for a brick wall, or they're not. Oh, definitely. I'm a huge skeptic. I have to be certain before I give stuff off. Unfortunately, there's a lot of it. Yeah. The problem is we all get tarnished with the same brush now, right? I think that's a massive problem in the community. Like I'm super new to it, super new. I guess I'm probably quite different to a lot of people in there. But I do find that it's quite a negative space. It's like there's not a lot of helping each other. There's a lot of like hating on each other, you know? It's rough. It's rough out there. And like people like keep locations like hidden to themselves and stuff. It's fucking crazy. It's so mad. It's like we've done locations that people haven't done before or people haven't done for years. And I'm like, I'm doing some collabs with people and I'm like, dude, I want you to come to the locations I've done because these locations have been insane. Like the Antrobus Hotel in Amesbury was like the craziest experience ever. Like it was nuts. Too much ego. I agree, Sean. And also for me, it's not always like I'm seeing a spirit. Sometimes it is, but sometimes it's like flashes of images or feelings slash sensing an aura of a person. And that's how I get the vibe. See, I've always explained like the reason I believe. It sounds silly. Oh, yeah, bit of fluff. It sounds silly. It's like, when you walk into like in my line of work, like my day to day job, I go to a lot of cellars, a lot of empty rooms, a lot of fucking beer cellars, attics, all sorts. And there's just these certain cellars or attics or rooms that you walk into, and your skin tingles, your hairs stand up, and you get this sense of dread, like pure fear and dread. And that to me is the one thing I've always held on to. Like, there's someone there, there's someone watching, there's something going on, you know? And I think for me, that's one of the biggest things where I've always thought, like, if anything stood out to me, it was that. And that was what always, to me, held me in the sense of going, there's something, you know? I need a freaking soother or something. Damn. I don't know. I don't know if anyone else gets that feeling at all, but I definitely do. And it's like, Jesus Christ, you know? Oh, no doubt. No doubt. And this is why I'm going to change up what we do. I'm changing up how these investigations, ghost hunts, whatever you want to call them, work. And I'm going to try and make the first half of the videos more of a sensory video than anything else. And as time goes on, get the equipment out. I guess that's sort of how I want to do it. So, like, a bit of background is how I want to do it from now on is do like a walkthrough of any location at the beginning, maybe like first even half of the video. Minimal equipment, just a camera, us, our feelings, and our conversations, and see how that goes. And then as the evening goes on, bring out more tools and equipment and so on, just to try because it's all good having REM pods go off, cat balls, torches, music boxes, EMF readers, all of that. But the best evidence I believe you could ever get is disembodied voice, full footsteps, knocking, or obviously a actual figure. And I also believe the only way you're going to get that is by being patient and not taking the piss, really. Don't get me wrong, I'm still going to use equipment because I think equipment is a great way to communicate. Specific equipment, that is. Um, but that is what most of us investigations get our stick for. Investigators, should I say, get our stick for is the equipment we use. So I'd like to get something without the equipment, but you know, you don't get what you want, do you? You get lucky, I guess. You bow the right energy and you get lucky and you have the best time. But we always have a good time anyway. That's one thing I will say. We always have a laugh. We always have a good time, and it's always quite upbeat, which is the best part about it. It's just spending time with your mates doing something fun, you know. And that's what frustrates me about like these people saying it's fake. It's like either way, I'm just spending time with my mates and having fun. So whatever, like literally whatever. Because you do get them, and unfortunately, there's a lot of arseholes out there. But what can you do? You can just live your best life. I almost think that I feel it sometimes. Like it sounds ridiculous, but I don't mean like being touched by something. But when you go, oh, yeah, 100%, 100, and that's what I was saying about when you go into when you go into a dark room, and you're like, I appreciate that, Sean. Obviously, the video is going to change now. This format that I've mentioned is something going forward from now. But yeah, we've got a few videos out there. Check them out. There's one coming Saturday, then there'll be one coming the next Saturday, and so on and so on. I think, Taya, it sort of sounds like you're saying a similar sort of thing when I was mentioning earlier about when you go in a dark room, when you just, there's, you get this sense of someone watching. And a lot of the time it feels negative, and that's probably because you're in a dark room and it's supposed to be scary. And we have a natural sense of not liking the dark down to historical DNA that's prey used to prey on us during the evenings because it was usually big cats, panthers, and all this sort of stuff. So naturally, our DNA, genetic DNA, and I believe we have a gene memory, tells us to be scared of the dark. So that adds to it. But I still think that feeling is a sense that we have. We just don't use it enough. And so, you know, it really depends on what you believe like spirits are, how they come, what they are, where they come from, which is never, ever, ever going to be understood really until pure proof comes out. Maybe you'll be chosen the next time, hey? Yeah. The one thing I will say is, the one thing I will say is, I'll find you on Insta. If you ever want to chat, ask question, ask whatever. Happy. Yeah, no, I appreciate it, Sean. I appreciate that for sure. Like, that is super helpful because, like I say, we are new to it. But what I will say, Tay, is like, so many people do this. You hear about bad stuff happening, people getting scratched. It's very rare that you hear of possession, someone being followed home by a spirit, any of that sort of stuff. Like the real investigators who do this properly, like we try, I think the worst thing I've ever seen is maybe someone getting scratched. Yes, I was having this conversation today, Kyle, actually. I was actually having this conversation today. So this is actually quite funny. I was speaking to someone who owns, I've never heard of this before, like a spiritual, well, it wasn't labeled a spiritual construction company, but he was very spiritual and owns a construction company. And he says every part of construction to building a house, he does it with the best intent. So he basically said if you get a construction company who are going to buy the land, use every bit of land, try and skimp on the money, skimp on all of this, you walk into that house and it feels different to a house that has been built by a construction company that have not bought the land for profit, have built the home for it to be their home or a home, have used very good people to do like the woodwork, the paving, the brickwork, and so on. Like people who love their job and put their time and effort into it, and they're not the cheapest people. And if you go into these two different houses, he said you can feel an energetic difference because of the energy being put into the building when it's being made. And he likened it in a sense of like to living in a rental property to living at home with your parents or to living in a home you've bought. When you're in a rental property, it never really feels like home. You can put pictures up, you can get your own furniture, you can do all of that. You can put homey things in there, but it's not home. But when you buy a home, it's your home. When you go back to your parents' home where you lived, you grew up, it's home. And that's what he likened it to is the intentions you put into making a building is the feeling you get when entering it. I'd like to know what people's opinions are on that. I had a lengthy conversation about it today, and to me, I was like, it sort of blew me away a little bit. And then that's where it brought on the conversation about um, investigating certain locations. Where if you get a location where it's all about the money and trying to just make as much money as possible, that's where you get like the more negative stuff. Whereas if you go to somebody who has real intentions and they just want you to go in and have a good time, you get better evidence and less negative spirits, you know? Oh, yeah, he was a cool guy. He was a cool guy. I mean, he was batshit crazy in a really nice way. Like kooky as fuck, but in like the coolest way. You know? Like one of these people who just see it seems too frivolous and too nice to have loads of money and own a company, but does. I was like, dude, how does that even work? Because I was like, how is that a good business model? Like, you're paying for the most expensive things for these houses to be built and then selling them. That can't be a great business model. And he was like, I don't know, but I'm doing the right thing. I was like, good on you, bro. Good on you. And that's the sort of person I'd like to, if I was ever to buy a property, you'd want to buy a property from somebody like that, right? Like, especially now, because I feel like spirituality is waking up so much that people are actually more inclined to go not along with it, but along with it, if that makes any sense. It's all intention based, right? It's all intention based. And I feel like that's when we, yeah, no doubt, Tay. And I think that's why we go into like, it takes me back to the start when I said when we go into locations and we're having a laugh and we're having a good time going in there, it's because that's your intention. There's a difference between these paranormal investigators, ghost hunters who go looking for dark energies. They will get dark energies because that's the intentions they go in there with. It's just a shame that they get more clicks. Exactly that. Exactly that. And I think that's true. And I know it never clicked with me until today when I was speaking to this guy about it. And I was like, damn, that's intense. That's cool. And it makes sense. It makes total sense. Guys, my throat is actually fucking, oh my god, it's in rag right now. Not even joking. Like, seriously in rag. We are 12 subscribers away from 1,500. 12. Yeah, how dare we go into a place happy? You should take it so seriously. You should go in there morbid and no, no, not at all. Everybody does it differently. Everybody has their own way of doing it. And it's like I was saying earlier about the paranormal space is so aggy because everybody wants it done their way because they do it better than others, right? So basically, fuck them. As long as we're doing what, like the way I look at it, we do what we want. We don't care what other people think. There's great people out there who love what we do and who want to be involved with what we do. And they're the cool people. They're the people who I want to talk to and share my time with. This is the thing, right? The way we do it is crazy because everybody says to me, is it not scary? I've had some scary moments, I'm not going to lie. But when we were doing it, yeah, no doubt. I know they can get up. I suppose it's who you're doing it with as well, who the people can get odd, right? Is that what you're trying to say, Sean? Or are you saying the investigations themselves like took a turn? Like, don't get me wrong, scary stuff's gonna happen. Like when I was in the kitchen of the Antrobus, I was scared. But overall, I wish I still got scared. So desensitized to it now. It might not work for you. What works for someone else might not work for you, and that goes for anything spiritual, even reading tarot cards like exactly that. Oh, I mean, there are negative. If you look at ghosts like people, if you look at spirits like people, There's good people, there's bad people. So you're gonna get bad spirits, you're gonna get good spirits, right? Of course they don't, Sean, because they want to make the money by being the geniuses, right? To this day, I've never been on a group hunt and I never will. One, because they call it ghost hunting, which I don't really like. I like the investigation side of it. But there's good energies, there's bad energies, there's good spirits, there's bad spirits, just like there's good people and there's bad people. And listen, I kind of wouldn't mind encountering a bad spirit just for the to see what it's like, to see how scary it actually is. But at the same time, we've had a fucking great time doing what we do, encountering seems to be only nice ones. Like the ramen, we did the ramen. It was negative enough, but there was what we found to believe to be a little girl spirit in there who was super not nice, and it made the night great. We had a fucking great time, even in like -1 heat. We also got debunked for that apparently, so you know, but here we are. But, but yeah, seriously, it was yeah, little private ones, Sean, for sure. Sorry, I thought my kid was awake. That's why we get a lot of people asking to come on investigations, but you've really got to pick the right people. It wasn't that bad. Sean, it wasn't that bad. I don't know if it's oversold, over exaggerated, or what, but yeah. Right, guys, listen, I have to go because my son is awake and it's perfect timing because my throat is killing me. Everyone have a great evening. Make sure you subscribe, turn on the notifications because shit's coming on Saturday. All right. So have a good evening. As always, love you all. Peace. Bye. If you want anything, get at me on Instagram, get at me on Facebook, subscribe, DM me, whatever. Peace out, peeps. Bye. Nice to meet you all. See you next time. Every Tuesday we'll go live every Tuesday and hopefully get a video out every Saturday. Love you all. Peace. Bye.